Tech companies in Silicone Valley are well known for the perks they offer their employees, and one such comfort is a private bus that shuttles staff to and from work so that they can avoid the hassle of driving. But not everyone in the area is happy about the use of these massive vehicles. Mark New joins us live from San Francisco, where this big bus controversy is brewing. Mark, well, what's everybody upset about?
Michelle, companies like Facebook, Apple, and Google are all headquartered in Silicon Valley, but Silicon Valley is much more like suburbia, relatively quiet and residential. Many tech workers, especially those in their 20s and early 30s, prefer to live in the vibrant city of San Francisco, which is roughly an hour's drive away. That's where the private shuttle bus comes in. Not only is it convenient for tech workers, but it takes traffic off the road too. But many local residents say there's far more than meets the eye. It's a perk that attracts talent and helps retain it. Nearly 30 Silicon Valley companies, mostly tech-related, run a fleet of shuttle buses for roughly 17,000 employees every day.
It is really convenient for me. I live up the street. I get to walk down here and take the bus down to the main campus.
You know what? That's too simple.
But recent protests like this one around an Apple bus show how many local residents consider the vehicles symbols of inequality. High-paid tech workers have been driving up rents, forcing lower-income residents out of their homes. Adding insult to perceived injuries, these luxury private buses use public bus stops without paying anything.
I think the problem is really the size of the buses, the disrespectful nature of the drivers, and yeah, just like, do they really need to be double-decker luxury buses?
Yesterday, the city's transportation agency approved an 18-month pilot program, supported by the tech companies, to charge the tech companies $1 every time their shuttle uses a public bus stop.
So what we're proposing is a way to capture and continue to capture the benefits that the shuttles provide to the transportation system, while at the same time resolving the conflicts.
Economic wealth of Silicon Valley has priority over the people who live here.
Labor journalist Steve Zeltzer points out that the fees paid by the shuttle buses will only be used to regulate the pilot program, instead of being used for upgrades to public transportation, which is far inferior. In fact, on this corner, we watched for a half an hour as at least 5 tech shuttle buses came and went before a single public bus even showed up.
The buses are a symbol of these tech companies, Google, Apple, saying everything's for us and for our interests, our economic interests. We need to have the workers who work in the cities being able to afford to live in the cities. And we can't have the developers, private developers and speculators in charge of development.
Under the pilot program, the private shuttles will be able to use 200 bus stops that are part of the city system. The pilot program is slated to start in July. There are currently 2,500 bus stops in what's called the city's Muni bus system. It's now up to the tech companies to propose which 200 stops they want to use. But according to the proposal, local residents will be able to give their input on those choices too, which does still leave the door open for further disagreement. I spoke to one tech worker about to board a bus who said he understood the frustration, but that there was no way around the problem until more housing is built. San Francisco has limited spaces to build and heavy restrictions, which makes the problem even more difficult. Michelle.
And at least they're cutting down on gas. All right, thank you so much, Mark New, live from San Francisco.